The plan today is to look back on the history of gaming, the history of games, video games, seeing when the best month in gaming was. What month had the best game releases, console releases of all time? Because I've seen people talk about years before, but I thought we would go a step further, really research the months that these games came out. Starting off, I have a little list that I compiled of months that I found that seem to be, very very good for gaming, a very active month for games and for gaming companies. And the first one of the list is going to be March 2017. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild came out and Horizon Zero Dawn, as well as the release of the Nintendo Switch. This is a very important month for gaming, not so much in the sense that these games, even though these games are very big experiences and very landmark titles for these companies, but it's more of a start of an era. It's the start of the Nintendo Switch era, which really took over gaming in 2017, and from then on, that generation, the Nintendo Switch did so much better than the PS5 and the Xbox. I mean, just looking at it, they just did better. They just did better. The PlayStation 2 is still the best selling console of all time, but Nintendo Switch, they're up there, man. They're in second place. They got silver. They got silver, and that's pretty damn good. Just thinking about how long the Switch has been out compared to these other consoles, it's pretty impressive how many it's sold. Nintendo's really had a crazy comeback with the Switch compared to the Wii U. Anyways, that's just our first month. Just to start it off, it's a launch. It's a launch month. A lot of things started happening then. Breath of the Wild was a very big game, um, big moment in the history of it all. But the next month we have is November of 1998. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back to the 90s, a time when I wasn't alive, and I'm sure a lot of people out there weren't alive. But that doesn't mean we can't respect what it did. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, that's an all-time classic. Have I played it? No, but I can still respect its place in the legacy of games. Banjo-Kazooie, another similar thing, and Half-Life and Spyro. I mean, this is really a generation where a ton of series started. 3D Zelda, Banjo-Kazooie, Half-Life, that's a very big game for PC. And Spyro is a very big game for PlayStation. Every console had a big game this generation, which all came out in this month. So I think it's a very important month. 3D gaming was becoming a lot bigger here. It's really where it started to launch. Yes, in '96, Mario 64 came out, but I think this really put it into even more motion. It sped it up a little bit, put that baby in a Corvette. All right, for the next month, September 2025, a very, very recent month, literally 2 months ago. Now, this one is a little biased towards me, but I will say these games are fantastic. And there's even more. These aren't even all the games, but I also noticed a very common theme between these games that I really like during this year and this month specifically. They're all indie games. They're all indie games. Every game that I played that came out in September 2025, they're indie games. Indie developers have changed the landscape so much. It's insane. And honestly, I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it. I like the indie games. I would venture out and say that I like them more than a lot of AAA games. I mean, they usually have more care put into them, more love put into them. There's something in that craft that's really good, really good. Anyways, one of the most recent months, but still, I think it's important to see that indie games have really been on the come up recently. I mean, look, man, there's a lot of good indie games that have came out in the past 10 years. It's just been easier and easier to make games, and it's shown that it makes really good games at times. And just because it's an indie game doesn't mean it's a small game either. These games, honestly, like Silk Song, for example, insane amount of content. Insane amount of content. All right. Next up on the list, we have November of 2004, Halo 2, Half-Life 2, Metroid Prime 2. These are monumental games for each of the series. Halo 2, extremely important for Xbox. Half-Life 2, extremely important for PC. These are games that defined their generation of consoles. Half-Life 2, I mean, that really, especially for PC gaming, because PC gaming hasn't always been that big. Things getting cheaper, more games being produced for it, more availability, ease of use, things like that. Halo 2 for the Xbox and the Xbox 360, I was not a player myself, but I know enough people that had their lives changed because of that game, because of the memories that they made on that game. And Half-Life 2, in terms of story, really was a big thing. So it kind of hit a lot of different things. And honestly, Metroid Prime 2, I don't have a lot to say about it, but I know that it was a big game for the time. I just don't know as much about it as Halo 2 and Half-Life 2. They were very big step ahead in their category of games. So yeah, very big month for PC and console. Next month I have on the list is November of 2011. This is one of the all-time classics. This is arguably the best month. I mean, just taking a quick skim of the games. These aren't even all the games that came out. Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. Fantastic game. So many people like that game. Me, bit of a hater, but I respect it. Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 3 was just a great month. Minecraft 2 and Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed probably the worst one on this whole list. But honestly, even if it was just Minecraft, it would still be a big year. But the fact that it also has Skyrim and a Call of Duty, it's hitting so many different genres at once. Tens of millions of copies sold of each one of these games, except maybe Assassin's Creed. I don't know about Assassin's Creed. But these three games especially are so important alone that this month is really up there. And I would argue it could be the best, but I think there's still one month that's better. And this was also a very big month for YouTube gaming. November 2011, lots of Minecraft videos, lots of Call of Duty videos, and a good amount of Skyrim content. I remember watching all three of these games, even if I only really played Minecraft as a kid. I just never really got COD or Skyrim, but that doesn't mean I didn't watch content on it. I still watch a ton of videos, and I know a lot about the games. But this was the time that YouTube gaming was becoming more of a thing, and these games kind of took that place for a while as the games that a lot of people play on YouTube. So I think this is a very important month, even not looking at the games directly, just in terms of how these games were turned into content later on. So these games really lived on past this month. So I think this is like a very vital moment in gaming history. The next month, quite possibly the best month of all time. November 2007, baby. 2 months after I was born. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Super Mario Galaxy, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, and Uncharted all in the same month. Bro, you started 4 massive franchises in the same month. Now, Mario Galaxy is arguably, like whatever, the 4th 3D Mario that's came out or the 3rd. But I would say that's really it's a very unique game still. It's not like Mass Effect 2. It's a very unique game because 3D Marios are usually different from each other, except for Galaxy 2. But I mean, just looking at this, the amount of things that started in this month is insane. Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, Uncharted, and Super Mario Galaxy all starting in the same month is wild because all of these games, people still play all of these games to this day. And then you throw a COD in there, especially when COD was actually known as a well-respected gaming giant. I mean, this is a huge month for gaming. And the thing that really makes this the best month compared to November 2011, just looking at it, there's not quite enough variety in this, There's not quite enough variety. This really has everything. This had a lot. This has more. I'm telling you, bro, just Uncharted starting a huge gaming franchise that even got a movie. I mean, and it has Drake, who's a pedophile. I've never played Uncharted, so I don't really know. And then you have Mario Galaxy, one of the most amazing games of all time, besides the Wii Remote, which I talked about in my gaming list. But for the most part, I mean, this is just a fantastic game. I think one of the most underrated things about Galaxy is the way it looks, bro. The way it looks. For running on the Wii, I think Mario Galaxy looks amazing. Because the Wii only runs at 480p. The Wii is not a powerful console in any respect. So the fact that it looks as good as it does, I think is pretty cool. And I mean, it's been talked about a million times. The music in this game is fantastic. It's very creative levels. Just an overall really good experience. And then you have Call of Duty in there. It's just a classic month, brother. It's just a classic month. November 2007, I think it really does take the crown. I think it does. Out of any other month in gaming history, it just has everything. It has all 5. It's a beautiful month. I think it's insane that they released all of this in the same month. That's wild. That's a lot of games. But